Here it is, guys, what you all have been asking for, my review of the Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. Ever since this guy came on eBay about a month ago, I've been getting comments on my videos saying, RC Cars 5, please review the Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. I would say, I'm sorry, but I don't have him because I admit, I didn't order him at first. I wanted to order the new characters like Jackson Storm, Bobby Swift, or Combustor. But a couple weeks ago, I realized that the Cars 3 McQueen is actually pretty cool, and a lot of you guys out there wanted to see me review him, so I decided to buy him for $17 from the Chinese eBay seller snapdragontoyz. Now, like I explained in my review yesterday of Chick Hicks with Headset, the RSN announcer, that seller has pretty much erased all of their listings, and my guess as to why is because they got caught selling these Cars 3 diecasts before May 1st. So unfortunately, that means there's nowhere you can currently buy this Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. Now maybe sometime in the future, another seller will get them in stock and list them for sale, but I'm sure Mattel and Disney Pixar are really keeping their eyes out for these listings because, of course, the diecast for the first wave of Cars 3 are not supposed to hit retail stores or anywhere for that matter until May 1st of 2017, like I said earlier, so it makes sense that Mattel doesn't really want all their diecasts to be leaked 4 months before the official release. So I wouldn't expect too many more on eBay, but I guess it's possible. So now let's dive right into a review of Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. And that's kind of his name right now. We don't know a specific name for the Cars 3 version of McQueen because, for example, for Cars 2, he was called World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen and also World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen with racing wheels. And at the beginning of Cars 2, you had the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup version of Lightning McQueen. So I assume they'll probably make up a special name for this one as well. Or they'll just go with the classic Lightning McQueen because, of course, it gets the point across and it's pretty similar to the original Cars 1 Lightning McQueen that we'll get to in a second here. So, of course, we know that McQueen will have this paint job throughout most of Cars 3, but he will have some other paint schemes as well. One of them will be a training paint job, and you saw that in the trailer when he goes to the abandoned Thomasville Speedway with Cruz Ramirez, and then he'll have another racing paint scheme that has a Rust-Eze logo here on the side and over here as well. So that's the big difference, at least that I noticed, between this one right here and the one that has the Rust-Eze logos right there. So of course, I'll be showing pictures throughout the video to make it a little bit more understandable and to refresh your guys' memory because, of course, in the trailer, everything is going by so fast, so all the paint jobs kind of blend together. But we do get a great look at the training paint scheme where he's got that gold, so I cannot wait to see that paint job. And of course, as you guys may have seen on eBay, there was a Muddy Lightning McQueen. I actually have a prototype of that, so I will do a video on this in the future, so I'm just going to show it right now. And of course, it is in fact a real prototype. You can see the 1.5 right there. Now, I don't believe this is for a diecast line. It's not for the diecast line. It's for some other play, I don't know, wind up, whatever it might be. But it is the Cars 3 Muddy McQueen that he has at the Thunder Hollow Speedway, because you can see the 15 engraved in all the mud there. So a little sneak peek for that prototype. I got a bunch of other prototypes as well, so hopefully I can do a prototype video pretty soon. Now, as for the release of this Cars 3 McQueen, he'll be released so many times. Singles, 2-packs, multi-packs, special editions. I'm sure he'll be in everything because based on prior knowledge of the Cars 1 McQueen and the Cars 2 McQueen, they overproduce them. So I'm sure this guy will not be hard to find at all. And I really should have waited for him to come out because I would have saved money, but I wanted to get him early to review him for you guys. So now I think we can get into review now that we have all the introduction stuff taken care of. So he has a Rust-Eze logo on the hood, of course, because that's his main sponsor, Medicaid Rust-Eze Bumper Ointment. And then it says down below, rear end formula. So let's compare this logo to the one from Cars 1. It's a lot bigger and it's a little brighter as well. It's quite a bit similar to the one here from the beginning of Cars 1. This is the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup McQueen. Now, it's pretty much the same color, but quite a bit smaller, so check it out. So the logo hasn't evolved much from 2006, and that's not a bad thing, but it would have been kind of cool to see somewhat of an evolution. I think we will see more of that when we get the paint job that has the Rust-Eze logo here and on that side as well, because it does look quite a bit different from this text of Rust-Eze. You know, the font definitely looks to be different. Now, for the World Grand Prix McQueen, so basically, guys, I'll be comparing Cars 3 McQueen to the main versions of McQueen we have here. The two from Cars 2 and the one from Cars 1. And a little bit of the one they had after Cars 2 that was only released as a metallic special edition. But we'll get to that in a couple moments here. So let's just take a look at the features here of Cars 3 McQueen. Now, his expression, I'm not much of a fan of, but I think it will grow on me over time. I just don't really think it looks too realistic, especially from what we've seen in the trailer so far. He definitely doesn't seem to look this smiley. I feel like he'll be a lot more determined in this movie. But they might be trying to appeal more to the kids with that smiley expression. So moving on to the side now, he still has the black Lightyear tires with the red rims there. He has a new flame design that's different from Cars 1. Of course, in Cars 1, it was more of just a bolt without any flames. At the beginning of Cars 2, it was still a bolt, a lot lighter and more faded into the background, still no flames, and Cars 2 during the World Grand Prix is when he got the flames. So it looks like he definitely kept that design, but also combined it more with the bolt from Cars 1. You can see kind of the similar yellow shape there at the start of the bolt. So I think that's really cool. And on the side here, he has his secondary sponsors, which are the Piston Cup, Octane Game, RPM Revolting, and Clutch 8. So a lot less than in Cars 1. Of course, here in Cars 1, he has pretty much like quadruple that amount. You got Mood Springs, No Stall, Gas Rim, Violin, Octane Game, Revolting, and pretty much the ones that he has in Cars 3, plus a bunch more. And you can actually see that the Piston Cup logo has evolved. It's a lot sharper, I'd like to say, than it was in Cars 1. And you can kind of see it there. My camera's having some hard time focusing, but it's quite a bit sharper, you know? You guys know what I'm saying. Because check it out here in Cars 1. You can see that it's Piston, then you have the actual Piston Cup, and then it says Cup. And it looks like they're still doing that design, but the cup itself is a lot bigger and definitely extends above both of the fonts there. So I know I'm getting into some deep detail, but it's important for me to go over this. At least, you know, for me, if you guys don't enjoy it, then don't watch. But I know a lot of you guys do enjoy it when I go really in depth with my reviews. So on the back here, we got the gas cap, of course, the Rust-Eze logo again, Lightning McQueen's signature on both sides there of the roof, 95 on the top, which is pretty much the exact same from Cars 1. So it's nice to see some carryovers from the first movie because, of course, at the beginning of Cars 2, we had that design. Oh my god, I just clicked the two of them there. That was not smart. And here we have Cars 2 World Grand Prix. It's similar, but it doesn't have that white outline around the numbers there. And of course, I'm just going to address it. Yes, it has a chip right there, but I know that it was going to be used because the seller listed it as used, so it's not a problem with me. I'm completely fine with that. On the back here, it says Rust-Eze Medicated Bumper Ointment number 95. Now, of course, in Cars 1, the Medicated Bumper Ointment had a background of yellow there to signify that he's a rookie. Of course, all rookies need to have some sort of yellow striping on the back to indicate that they are a rookie. Because check out Jackson Storm. He has those two yellow stripes on the back to indicate that he's a rookie. And of course, 11 years into the career now, McQueen definitely doesn't need that yellow stripe anymore. So that's pretty much it for McQueen. Of course, it's the same on this side. And here is the base if you're interested. We got quite a bit crammed onto the base here. What do we have? Disney Pixar made in China. Date stamp, and then some codes there on the bottom with the Netherlands address. Yes, for those of you who are unaware, that is a Netherlands address. Let's see if we can zoom in. See, NL. That's Netherlands right there. So I don't know what Mattel has to do with Netherlands. Maybe they have like a facility there that's pretty important, some headquarters. I don't know, but it's definitely important enough to get on the base of all of the recent diecast cars for the past couple years now. So the biggest difference, at least for me personally, in my opinion, between the Cars 3 version and the Cars 2 version of McQueen is that the model actually changed. You can see that the Cars 3 version is thinner than the Cars 1 version, and for that matter, than the Cars 2 version as well. The Cars 2 World Grand Prix version, I would say, is a little bit more aerodynamic. Check out this curve here from the hood to the back. Let's move these out of the way. You can see that curve going along. It dips in when it hits the door, and then it comes back out when you get to the end there. Now, for the two versions here, Cars 1 and the beginning of Cars 2, the models are exactly the same. There's no difference besides the paint job and the expression. And that curvature is exactly the same. It doesn't dip in as much as it does here on the Cars 2 version. And of course, they had to remove this spoiler, which is part of the model, a part of the mold, to replace it with the extended, more, I guess I would say, cooler looking spoiler. I wish he had it for Cars 3, but maybe he'll get it at the end of the movie. We really don't know yet all the paint jobs and designs he will have in Cars 3. But you can see that the curvature is definitely a little bit more defined, making him more aerodynamic. And now in Cars 3, let's compare these two, because you can see that they are different models again. I have to say that the Cars 2 version here, or my bad, the Cars 1 version and the World Grand Prix version are more similar than the Cars 1 or the Cars 2 version to the Cars 3. Now, that just got complicated real fast. A lot of numbers and a lot of versions and a lot of cars, but you guys kind of gotta understand that if you took these two, these are pretty similar except for the curvature and the spoiler. I'd say they're more similar than if you took these two or if you took these two together and compared them, because this McQueen here is a completely different model. He's way thinner, and if you ask me, I don't know if I like that, because I don't know, he must have gotten some sort of surgery done or he lost a weight. I don't know how that works in the Cars universe, to be honest with you guys, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, because as you can see, it's definitely a different model from the prior versions from Cars 2 and Cars 1. So just check out the comparisons there. The red is pretty much the same on all of them. The shade, that hasn't changed too much. But we're really looking here at the paint job, the expression, and of course the model as well. The expression has changed all the time, so I really do like that. My favorite expression is probably the World Grand Prix one, but my least favorite is definitely Cars 3. Hopefully it grows on me, or they just release a different expression version, because what do you guys think about this as well? Do you guys like this expression? I think they're probably going for more of the younger audience because, you gotta keep everything positive. Kids see something positive and happy and smiling, they'll probably want to buy that over McQueen frowning. I don't know, kind of like this. This one's frowning here, but it's a little bit more fun because it's muddy. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? At least I hope so. So that's pretty much it for the comparison between the main core versions of Lightning McQueen. We now have the, I guess you could say, post-Cars 2 version of McQueen. I talked about this extensively in my review last weekend of the World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen, so you can check out that video in the description below. But as you can see, this is the same model as the World Grand Prix version. The decals are different. If you want to go into detail about that, you can check out my video on WGP McQueen. And so just a quick comparison here, because you guys already saw the difference there. And here is the precision version of Lightning McQueen. Actually, a really cool version of McQueen here. So my question for you guys today is, which of the following is your favorite? I'm just going to limit this question to the main three versions of Lightning McQueen. You got Cars 1 Piston Cup, Cars 2 World Grand Prix, and Cars 3 Piston Cup. Man, look at the evolution there. It kind of looks like it went backward after Cars 2. But I think that's probably a good idea because I like that retro design and it just makes it feel more like Cars 1. I was about to say Cars 2, but I definitely prefer Cars 1 over Cars 2. So let me know out of these three, which one is your favorite. So that pretty much wraps it up for this review. I do want to do a couple fun little comparisons here. We got Jackson Storm and Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. I feel like the scale on these are off because, check out that image right there. I don't know, maybe it's just because McQueen is behind Jackson Storm, but when you set it up like that, I don't really know. I kind of wish that McQueen was either a little bit more compact, like he was a little bit, I guess, squashed in and a little bit wider, or maybe Jackson is off, but Jackson actually looks pretty spot on. Now, as for Cruz Ramirez, she looks pretty much in scale to McQueen. No complaints there, but we haven't seen too many side-by-side pictures of the two of them there. And just for fun, we have Bobby Swift. They look pretty cool together. I assume they'll probably be friends in the movie. We recently got an actor confirmed, or at least rumored for Bobby Swift. I forgot his name. I definitely forgot his name. I kind of remember it, but if I try to pronounce it, I would butcher the pronunciation. I think it's Angel, might be his last name, or maybe it's his first name. I'm sorry. It would be a hard name for me to pronounce, but that's actually some good news there. Now, of course, here we have Hank Weathers, who I'm sure will probably be one of McQueen's friends as well, or at least I hope so. McQueen already has enough to deal with Jackson Storm on his plate. Doesn't need Hank Weathers and Bobby Swift coming after him as well. I really hope they'll be friends, and they should be, because Hank Weathers is probably the son of the king, and McQueen did something very important for the king at the end of Cars 1. Of course, here's Smokey. I'm sure they'll definitely be shown together in the movie. So, looking good, everybody. I think that is all for this video. Of course, let me know out of the three versions of McQueen, Cars 1, Cars 2, or Cars 3, which one is your favorite. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And feel free to check out my review on the Cars 3 Chick Hicks, so you guys can vote on what Cars 3 review you want me to do next. The options are Cruz Ramirez, Smokey, Nitrate number 28, Four-Wheel Drive number 54, and Natalie Cern. All five are new characters, even though there was a Nitrate racer and a Four-Wheel Drive racer in Cars 1. They are new characters, so those will be awesome to see. So thanks again for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for another review. Bye now.